instructional video on how to do an outline. Okay, so let me explain what an outline is. An outline is your paper. That's what an outline is. An outline is your paper. It's not something you have to do in order to get a grade from your professor. Well, you do. You really do. Honestly, you do have to get a grade from me. But that's not what it is. An outline is your paper before you write your paper. An outline is a way to organize what you're going to say in your paper. You really must do this for me. I'm insisting on it. And I'm going to give you a way to do an outline. And here's what I'm going to say 15 times in the next couple of weeks. Your paper has to follow the same order as your outline. So your outline needs to be the order your paper is going to be. When I read your paper, I'm going to take the outline that you've already handed in, and I'm going to look at your paper, and I'm going to read your paper, and I'm going to say, oh, good, this person followed the outline. And then I'll mark your paper for all the other stuff, but you'll get an A for following your outline. But if I look at your paper and I say, this person didn't follow the outline at all, they'll say, ah, this person didn't know what he or she was doing. Therefore, that person will get a low grade. You must write an outline, which will be how you write your paper. It's a plan for writing your paper. Okay, so that's a good thing. All right, now, what I'm going to do is show you how I want you to do an outline for this course. Remember, it's going to be how you're going to do your paper. That's what an outline is. So I'm doing this in PowerPoint. But you can also do that in Google Docs, too. You can do that in let's see, so google.com, and go over to here, and we click on here, and it's right in front of me, I know. Yeah, there's Google Docs. I don't think it's, yeah, there, no, that's not it. Slides, is that it? Yeah, that's it. So you can do the same thing in Google Slides. Same exact thing I'm going to do. Yeah, it starts off the same. They're copying each other. So, but I'm doing it in PowerPoint because that's what I do. All right. So now this is what I'm going to do. There's two ways to do this. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to blank. Now it's blank. All right. Now I know what blank means. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, it's going to make little boxes. All right. So now this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do your paper for you because then I'll make it hard for you to do your paper. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do your paper for you. I'm going to do my paper on the world. All right? Those of you who had me on fall semester are probably tired of that, but I'm not. All right? So I'm going to do the world. So I'm just going to put some ideas I want to do for my chapter 1 for my thing in the world. So the first thing is, well, let's see. Not the first thing, but I'm just going to put thoughts. Jesus is the one who introduced, not introduced, the idea of the world. All right? That's one idea. Oh, but I should have said something about cosmos first. That doesn't matter. I'm not doing this in order. I'm just doing thoughts. The word cosmos means something different in the New Testament from the idea of the planet Earth. Okay? Remember, this is my first chapter, so sort of giving me the start of what I'm doing here. I want to do that, and do another thought. 1 John gives a clear definition of the world as lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the boastful pride of life. Okay, so what else? Well, I know that world also, that it seems like the New Testament writers all seem to use cosmos in the same way. Okay, well, yeah, here's another thought. Cosmos in the Old Testament is nothing like it is in the New Testament. Okay, what else? Lust of the eyes is covetousness. I got another thought about that covetousness thing. Covetousness is much different from desire. It's wanting things. Should I do that? I think I'm going to make that a different. This guy seems to do that every time. Covetousness is wanting something that I don't need. Lust of the flesh is just plain natural desires like hunger, safety, rest, etc. The world is not culture, but is lust of the flesh, eyes, and pride. Anything else? Anything else that I think about when I think about the world? Yeah. John says the world is not from the Father. Better say 1 John. Jesus treats the world almost as if it is a united group. The world will hate you. Example. People who act as if the world is certain kinds of behaviors will be fooled because it is lust, covetousness, and pride. Okay, I don't do intros. I don't like intros. So, now these are all stuff that I learned as I was doing my work on the world. The paper I wrote for those people who had me in the fall, the paper I wrote was no good. That's the way the first drafts are going to be. I need to redo it all. I've really thought a lot about it since then. So I'm looking at all of these and I'm saying, so what I need to do is I need to put these so that they relate together. Okay, so This has something to do with the meaning of the word. This has something to do with the meaning of the word. Well, for that matter, this has something to do with the meaning of the word. This also is very similar to that. This goes down here for now. This is not exactly that. Definition kind of goes with this, sort of, but it's sort of like, I don't know. This is a part, I've already said that, yeah. I don't have enough space. Okay, so in this case, what I've got to do is I got to take all these guys, I got to make them smaller. So what I'm going to do is make these guys smaller. So to give myself some more space. It's going to be harder for you to read it, but it's going to be easier for me to organize it. And that's, as you can see, how important that is. All right. All right. So I've got these things all seem to be about the definition of the word, or the word world. Do I give a definition up here? Yeah, so this is, okay. Here's the change. I'm going to make this the first part of the paper. Okay? This first part of the paper is like, what's the definition of the word world? So I'm going to move these over. You see what I'm doing? What I'm doing is I'm organizing. I'm organizing these things so they're all going to make some kind of an outline sense. And I'm trying to write my outline. My outline's my paper. And so I'm trying to get these guys all together, and I'm going to call this what is a definition of the world? Then my next part is going to be 1 John's clear definition of the world is less of the flesh, less of the eyes. This kind of goes in here. That's different. That's not. I'm going to put, this is kind of in the same thing. This is definitely in the same thing. That's sort of related. This is related. These go together, I think. Don't these go together? Lust of the eyes is covetousness. Covetousness is, here's the definition of covetousness. That seems really important. All right. Lust of the flesh is just the natural desires. That's the first part. I don't have anything about pride in here, so I need to add one. Okay. Pride of life is about thinking that I am in charge or should be respected or above God. All right, so let's make this smaller so it fits the other ones. So this is about, so I had to put that in there because it's less of the flesh, less of the eyes, and the boastful pride of life. So this is about John's definition, 1 John, and all of these are sort of explaining that. This probably goes in here. And I think this goes in here too. I think these guys go in here too. And these go together. So now this is, I'm taking that out. And you know what? I'm taking this out. You know why? Because it doesn't fit this This is going to be my first chapter, which is what is a definition of the world, okay? And I'm going to go here. See what I'm doing is I'm making my outline. First John's definition of cosmos. See what I'm doing? What I'm doing is I'm creating, so I've got basically what I've got is I've got three points. And the third point is sort of like applying it. Okay. So now there's my basic outline. This is going to be my first chapter. If I'm going to write this chapter, this is what you see here in front of you is what I'm going to write. So now what I would do is I would pull up Word. Blank document, single spaced. Pull it up. It's way too big. This is way too big. It's hard to move these things when they're like this. All right, do that. Give yourself some more space. Get rid of that. Make this smaller. And start writing. So I'm just going to take this. All right, now these really need to be switched. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to improve this. This may not be exactly the way I'm going to put it together. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to say, can I write this? Does this work as a first chapter? I guess it does. I haven't really thought about it. I mean, I just did this right now as I was doing this to make this video. But what I would do is I would look this over. But when I write my outline, it's going to be this exact thing. I'm not going to write something different than I have here. So if this isn't what I want to write, then I need to do it again. But I think this is. Now let me explain what I did. I didn't do the thing on the left here, this brainstorming. I didn't do this because it was a requirement of my professor. I did it because I didn't know how to write the paper. I didn't know what I wanted to write. I knew all kinds of things about the world, but I didn't have it organized. So then what I did was I just put ideas. The ideas just flowed out, just threw them down. What you're going to do is you're going to go back over the whole week of this first week of the course, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to say, what did I learn this week? You're going to look at your notes, you're going to look at the PowerPoints, and you're going to say, what did I learn? I remember our discussion, we talked about this. And you are going to go over to a blank sheet of a PowerPoint, or you're going to do the Google, whatever this is, presentations, those sheets was called. You're going to do the slides. You're going to do the same thing. You just go with however you do it. You're going to fill up this page with this stuff. And then you're going to give this, once you make your outline, I want a screenshot of this. Oh yeah, I want a screenshot of your brainstorming, and then I want your outline. And the reason is because I want you to do this brainstorming thing. I hope you noticed how quickly I put this together. I have a lot of ideas about the world, about cosmos. And so it just flowed naturally from me because I have a lot of work in it. I've been working in this for a long time. And you're going to have to do some refreshing of your mind to remember what we talked about in the lectures, look at the PowerPoints and all that stuff. And when you do your brainstorming, it may not be as fast as mine. I doubt it will be as fast as mine. However, the first 5 days are going to be rather fresh in your mind. You should be able to remember a lot, and having the PowerPoints in front of you, etc., 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 should help you to do it. What's the point? The point is that the brainstorming here helps you just to put out all kinds of thoughts and then to organize them. Remember, what's the definition of the world? First John's definition of the world. I didn't start off with this. I ended up with it when I put everything in order, and I said, oh, there's a pattern here. This fits. These ones fit up here, these ones fit here, and these ones fit here. See, that's what I did. That's not bad. And then it ended up in an outline. And my paper, first chapter, would follow this exactly. Okay? I really hope this will help you. And let's see what happens. God bless.